think with Usyk, the game plan, like he's a superior boxer, a very good boxer, technician, ring IQ is very good. You have to.
But he will give Usyk the hardest time of anybody. And if anybody, I think if they said, Roy, you had to take one guy right now, put your money on against Usyk, who would it be? It would be Joseph Parker.
Parker did the business. Parker's done everything he needs to do now to warrant a shot at Usyk. But would you even give Joseph Parker a chance at Usyk? It'd be an interesting fight.
Joe is a similar size to him, can fight at a similar pace, is a crafty, clever boxer, Joseph. People don't realize how clever he is and how he can adjust. And that we won't be taking breaks, and we'll just have to match him.
Joseph Parker believes he can beat Oleksandr Usyk, and he says he knows the one weakness that could help him do it.
Derek's in there trying to get a fight. I'm not sure what Derek's doing. He should piss off, and I'm next.
The former world champion is confident that he has what it takes to be the man who finally stops Usyk. Parker thinks that if he can match Usyk's speed, output, and movement, he has a real shot at pulling off one of the biggest wins of his career.
Now, given that you are such an admirer of his, and you appreciate the skill because you're an appreciator of skill, what makes you think that you've got the toolkit to dethrone him?
I believe wholeheartedly in my ability and what I can do in the ring. I have full confidence that give me a good camp or give me some time to put in the work with Andy Lee and George Lockhart. I want to come up with a good game plan, probably different to everyone else's one, and just work hard.
After being officially ordered by the WBO to face Usyk next, Parker opened up about what it would take to defeat the undefeated champion. He admitted that Usyk is a smart fighter with great technical skills and strong ring intelligence. But Parker believes that with the right kind of pressure and by staying active with punches from the start to the finish, Usyk can be beaten. According to him, endurance is the key, and he's already working hard to make sure he can keep up with the pace that Usyk is known for.
I think with Usyk, the game plan, like he's a superior boxer, a very good boxer, technician, ring IQ is very good. You have to apply pressure, and you have to, I think, maybe match him for punches. He throws a lot of punches, so you have to match him for punches. You have to be very fit, good endurance, and you have to be able to sustain that from the first round to the last round.
Meanwhile, many people in the boxing world are already talking about this possible matchup, and one of them is the legendary Roy Jones Jr. He believes that Parker is currently the best option for Usyk. Jones didn't go so far as to predict a Parker win, but he did say that Parker would give Usyk the toughest test out of anyone available. Jones also pointed out that Parker has the tools and the experience to create serious problems for the Ukrainian champion. In his view, Parker's style could force Usyk into the kind of fight he hasn't had to deal with at heavyweight yet. Jones even said that if he had to pick one fighter right now to bet on against Usyk, it would be Parker.
You understand me? But Joseph Parker is the best fight for him right now because Joseph Parker is a guy who has the qualities and the experience that it would take to give Usyk the hardest time. Not saying he's gonna beat Usyk by no means, but he will give Usyk the hardest time of anybody. And if anybody, I think if they said, Roy, you had to take one guy right now, put your money on against Usyk, who would it be? It would be Joseph Parker.
But just because the WBO has ordered the fight doesn't mean it's guaranteed to happen. Jones said that Usyk still has some freedom in choosing his next move. That's where some tension is starting to build.
Well, you gotta look at it like this for Usyk. Usyk is a guy who can do whatever he wants to right now. He vacated the IBF, he went and got it back. You understand me? So it's just fun for him right now. So he can do whatever he wants to do. And he can fight whoever he wants to fight. So if they demand him to fight somebody, if they make it like they gonna force him to do it, he gonna say, forget y'all, take your belt and do what you wanna do. I go back and get it when I get ready.
While the WBO wants Usyk to fight Parker, Saudi-based promoter Turki Al Sheikh has voiced a different opinion. He is pushing hard for Usyk to face 19-year-old British prospect Moses Itauma, who has an unbeaten 12-0 record and was recently named Prospect of the Year by the Ring magazine. Al Sheikh is very influential in setting up big fights, and he made it clear on social media that Usyk versus Itauma is the match he wants to see next. So, even though the WBO has made their order, there are still different voices pulling in other directions. He took to Twitter a few days ago and wrote, "I want to see Usyk versus Itauma. This is the fight that needs to happen." Still, former world champion Carl Froch thinks Parker has earned his shot. Froch said Parker deserves the fight and has done everything right to get this opportunity. He praised Parker's fast hands and work rate, saying it would be an exciting fight to watch. But even with all that, Froch didn't seem confident that Parker could actually win. He reminded everyone that Parker has been beaten before, including by fighters like Dillian White, who Froch believes wouldn't stand a chance against Usyk. He said he wasn't trying to be negative, but he just didn't think Parker had what it takes to pull off the upset.
Parker did the business. Parker's done everything he needs to do now to warrant a shot at Usyk. But would you even give Joseph Parker a chance at Usyk? It'd be an interesting fight. Quite fast hands, high work rate. But let's not forget who Parker's lost to already. I mean, he lost to Dillian White a few years ago, and he's since been beaten a few times by people that really couldn't lace Usyk boots. And I'm not having a go at Joseph Parker. And I do think that if anybody deserves a fight, he does. He deserves the fight, deserves the payday. But is anybody realistically giving Joseph Parker a chance against Oleksandr Usyk? Because I'm not.
Parker's trainer, Andy Lee, sees things differently. He thinks Parker has the right style and mindset to go toe-to-toe with Usyk. Lee has been focusing on specific things in training like body language, positioning, and always being ready to throw punches. One big thing he's been drilling into Parker is never showing when he's tired. That's because Usyk is known for taking advantage when his opponents pause or rest. Lee explained that Usyk keeps up the pressure constantly and uses feints and movement to confuse and wear out his opponents both mentally and physically.
So what we work on in the gym is being ready at all time and being your body language in the ring and keeping your feet in a position where you're always ready to punch. And if you are resting, if you are taking a break, that you don't show it, that you look as if you're ready to attack and you're ready to punch. And that's basically what we do, and that's what Usyk does. Usyk feeds off his opponent's breaks. When they look to take that little switch, he'll attack them. He can pressure, feint with his magic wand right hand, and he just burns them up. They're mentally exhausted as much as physically. And then when he wants to rest, he can move and dip and dive and go under the big guy's punches.
But Parker, according to Lee, is not only in great shape, but also clever in the ring and able to adjust quickly. Lee said Parker has the same size and can match the pace, which is a rare thing against a fighter like Usyk. He said if Parker can stay focused and never take his foot off the gas, he has a real chance. He believes it's a fight between two smart, skilled heavyweights, one already an all-time great and the other with a chance to become one if he wins.
Joe is a similar size to him, can fight at a similar pace, is a crafty, clever boxer, Joseph. People don't realize how clever he is and how he can adjust. And that we won't be taking breaks and we'll just have to match him. I just love the fight. I think technically it's a great fight from two really good heavyweight boxers. One of them an all-time great, and Joseph a Hall of Famer, and possibly an all-time great if he got the win over Usyk. And the thing is, you have to match his pace, and that's mentally as much as physical.
Promoter Frank Warren also weighed in. He said that Parker is the next mandatory challenger through the WBO, and that's the fight he'd personally like to see next. He mentioned that Parker is on a good run and has worked his way back into this position. While there is always talk about Tyson Fury possibly getting another fight with Usyk, something Fury himself is pushing for, Warren said Parker deserves his shot and that it's likely to happen unless something changes behind the scenes. If Usyk decides to fight someone else, there's a chance he could be stripped of his belt and Parker would then get a shot at the vacant title.
WBO have actually said that the winner of the fight on Saturday, which is Usyk, he's got his first match. That's the next mandatory due out of the 4 belts, and it has to take place by the end of the year. So yes, that will be the case. Unless he vacates the belt. If he decides to vacate it, then he'll have to fight the number 1.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? So if Usyk does vacate the belt, then who would Parker fight next?
Number 1 is Moses Ituama.
After a recent main event, Parker was seen ringside looking fired up and ready to make his case. He made it clear he wants the fight and believes he should be next. He kept things respectful though. He didn't jump into the ring to challenge Usyk directly because he didn't want to ruin the champion's moment. In one interview, Parker jokingly called out Derek Chisora for trying to grab attention and said it's his turn now. But later, he made it clear that he didn't want to be disrespectful. He said Usyk deserved to enjoy his victory and his time in the spotlight.
Derek's in there trying to get a fight. I'm not sure what Derek's doing. He should piss off, and I'm next.
How badly do you want about Oleksandr Usyk now?
I want to get in the ring now, but I don't want to take away his shine. I don't want to be disrespectful. Let him enjoy. This is 2 times he's undisputed unified champion of the world.
Are you going to push for this though?
Yeah, I'm going to push for the fight of Usyk.
Yeah.
And I hope he doesn't vacate the belt. So we'll see what happens. It'll be awesome.
Behind the scenes, Parker's promoter David Higgins is also pushing hard to make the fight happen. He told Sky Sports that they're hoping Usyk chooses to defend his title against Parker. Higgins said they understand that Usyk has options, but that if he chooses to walk away from the mandatory and break up the undisputed status, that would be a soft move. Higgins said Parker is focused, ready, and hopeful the fight will happen before the year ends. According to him, Parker still believes Usyk will want to defend his undisputed crown with honor, and they are keeping that hope alive. He said, Joseph is hoping and praying that Usyk will want to defend the honor of undisputed champion, which not many people in recent times have achieved. Higgins said, we haven't given up on Usyk fighting Joseph next. He added, a lot of people are suggesting that he won't, but for me, that is a bit of a soft outcome if he doesn't. We are hopeful of fighting Usyk, and we are hopeful of doing it before the end of the year. In the end, a lot of things are up in the air. The WBO wants Usyk to face Parker. Roy Jones Jr. says Parker gives him the toughest test. Carl Froch admits Parker deserves the chance, but doubts he can win. Andy Lee is confident Parker has what it takes if he sticks to the plan. And Parker himself believes that with smart tactics, non-stop pressure, and top-level fitness, he can be the first man to beat Usyk. Only time will tell if this fight happens, but one thing's clear, Joseph Parker is ready, he's confident, and he's aiming for history. If you're excited to see whether Joseph Parker can pull off the upset against Oleksandr Usyk, let us know what you think. Hit that like button if you're backing Parker, drop a comment with your prediction, and don't forget to share this with your boxing buddies. Make sure to subscribe to Ring Rivalry so you don't miss any updates, breakdowns, or fight night coverage. Big fights are coming, and we've got you covered.